for political asylum, to seek for protection. In 2016, me and my party members and also many citizens, we were involved in a protest. But because of police violence, they they started to attack citizens, and then the whole protest turned into a riot. And we were charged with rioting, which is a very serious crime, and the maximum penalty is 10 years in jail. But of course, this is the method like the Hong Kong government to control us, to suppress our voice, to take away our basic human rights and freedom of speech. Today is the 70th anniversary of the establishment of Chinese Communist Party. But of course, there is nothing to celebrate, because today the meaning to Hong Kong people or to the people who are being threatened by Chinese government, today is the birthday of an evil, of a devil. So there's nothing to celebrate. We should always bear in mind the Chinese Communist Party. This government is killing their own people, suppressing them, putting them in re-education camps. We can see the situation in Xinjiang. So there is nothing to celebrate. And for today is actually the worst day in the past few months, because instead of using non-fatal weapons like tear gas and rubber bullets, today police used a real bullet to shot in chest. They shot a 16-year-old boy who is only a secondary 5 student, but they do it like within 1 meter. This is nonsense, and this is very obvious. It is a crazy escalation of their violence, of their brutality. So I don't know how those Chinese people could celebrate today, because it doesn't make any sense to us, and it is only a tragic day for us. Well, nowadays we can see, yes, it is true that the economic growth of China is like, yes, they are very strong in the world now economically, but this is only an illusion, because behind this economic growth, many people still couldn't see how tragic is the situation in many places in China. For example, let's say in Tibet, or not to mention Tibet, or like Xinjiang, there are more than 1 million people. They were put in re-education camps. Their culture, their religion, their language are being cleansed. And yes, we shouldn't see, okay, China is very strong and they're doing well and they are investing like all around the world. And this is a big problem, because I know, as we can see, Chinese government is like, they want to expand their power, of course, and they are doing it already through investment and through money. And I remember when I was in refugee camp, I met some African people, and they told me the business, the factories in their home countries, like hometown, running by Chinese. And this is actually very, very dangerous, because Chinese government is doing this not only like in the regions that I've mentioned, like Tibet, Xinjiang, Taiwan, or Hong Kong, but also in Europe and Africa, which means they are very, very ambitious and they want to take over the whole world actually. This is a trend, and we all people around the world, we should be aware of this. What happened in Hong Kong, we all can see now, like more than 1,700 protesters. Most of them are young people, they are students. They were arrested, and more than 300 people, they were charged with serious crime. And also 9 people have sacrificed their own life just to voice out their opinion. And we can see today the police brutality is escalating, always escalating. Today, one boy was shot in his chest with real bullet, And what can I foresee is the situation will escalate more because the government is the only one who can solve the political problems actually, but they are not doing so. What they do is they are using the police force to eliminate who is voicing out the problem. It sounds very ridiculous, but it is happening in Hong Kong. And if the government doesn't want to deal with the problems, doesn't want to answer the demands of the protesters, I think the situation will only escalate and it will not calm down, I mean. And police brutality is one very big issue in Hong Kong now. And I just want to say, Hong Kong police, think about what are you doing. Before it is too late, you can always turn back.